South Africans love their people movers. They adored the original Volkswagen Combi, and they've been staunch supporters of vehicles like the Chrysler Voyager, the Mercedes-Benz Vito, and of course Volkswagen's Caravelle. Others, like the Toyota Quantum and Hiace, have been embraced by the taxi industry and now service a vast and vital transport network in the absence of any public transport system. But now there's a new contender, and it comes from France. It's called the Peugeot Expert TP. The question is, where does it fit into the bigger picture? The TP is based on Peugeot's no-nonsense Expert commercial vehicle, a utility van that has made many friends with its huge cargo bay, its practicality and its eager turbo diesel engine. No wonder then that Peugeot decided to transform the van into a robust people carrier. The appearance of the Expert TP is best described as honest. In fact, it's a bit like a box on wheels. Although I have to say the front end, with those big headlights and prominent grille, does add some identity and some visual interest. And because it's a big box, it also promises a lot of interior space. As we've come to expect of Peugeot, attention to detail is impressive, lifting the appeal of an otherwise generic shape. Contrasting bumpers, mirrors and side mouldings emphasize the TP's practical, no-frills approach, while the tall, almost horizontal roofline, the substantial rear overhang and the vertical tailgate all point to a shape sculpted for maximum roominess. Sliding doors on either side and the split-hinged rear door ensure easy access. But despite its angular bulk, the Expert TP is sprightlier and wieldier than you'd expect, and much of the reason can be found under the bonnet. Given the bulk of the Peugeot, the presence of a 2-litre turbo diesel engine under the bonnet doesn't inspire much confidence. However, the power plant is always more willing than the statistics suggest. It's credited with 88 kilowatts of maximum power, 300 newton meters of torque, but most importantly of all, that twist is available from as low as 1500 RPM. The big Peugeot responds to throttle input with enthusiasm. The first 3 gears are short and closely spaced to allow brisk responses. A 0 to 100 time of 14.7 seconds sounds lethargic, but in practice, the Peugeot never feels ponderous. Top speed is 160 kilometers an hour. But the real focus of the TP is its huge cabin, with 3 rows of seats offering stretch-out space. I wouldn't describe the Peugeot's interior as plush, but it's certainly very comfortable and especially very spacious. It will accommodate 8 occupants with ease, although any taxi driver worth his salt will squeeze in double that number. Up front, the individual bucket seats and high equipment levels create a car-like ambiance. Admittedly, there's a lot of plastic here, and the seats make do with cloth upholstery, but everything looks and feels solid and well executed, with decent ergonomics that ensure intuitive operation. The standard equipment list is comprehensive and includes niceties such as central locking, dual front airbags, an audio system with satellite controls, and a pretty decent aircon system with a separately adjustable zone for rear passengers. There are more than enough storage binnacles and shelves in line with the Peugeot's practical positioning. That said, the roof-mounted air vents and courtesy lights are more aircraft than motor vehicle. The luggage compartment is truly cavernous, with 761 litres of space up to window level and almost 1200 litres loaded all the way to the roof. The spare wheel is located underneath the TP. The good news is that the Peugeot doesn't feel nearly as big as it looks. There's a bit of initial turbo lag, but once it gets going, it cruises comfortably enough. The steering isn't going to win any prizes for feedback, but it does turn in pretty well, and in terms of suspension, it soaks up most indifferent road surfaces with ease. In fact, the Expert TP finds a good compromise between smooth ride comfort and control. The spring rates allow the Peugeot to easily cope with heavy loads, while effective damping irons out most of the bumps and dips, yet always remains communicative enough to allow clear feedback. The Peugeot Expert TP is a comfortable and functional 8-seater with competent dynamics and huge amounts of space. It may be a bit more utilitarian than its direct competitors, but it does have all the important bells and whistles. That it feels more car than bus, despite its bulk, and links comfort to cargo space makes this a more satisfying people mover than expected. Despite a modest 4-cylinder turbo diesel, the big Expert TP accelerates with enthusiasm and cruises comfortably at the legal limit while sipping diesel frugally. Add the spacious cabin, the comprehensive standard equipment list and a king-sized boot, and the TP becomes a viable MPV contender, even if that boxy shape won't please everyone.